I'm going to drop the C-bomb before we get started because I'm sure that's what the New York Times would like to hear. Am I going to call for a crusade? You're damn right. Now, in the event any of the journalists don't feel like pulling out their dictionary, I'll just let you know. To crusade is a verb, and it means to be engaged in an energetic and organized campaign. Not just military, although I'll say, hey, if you're a Christian and you want to take up arms and help in the fight against ISIS, you do it, baby. But right now, Islam, as well as the radical left, have already launched crusades. And I am extremely interested in launching a counter-crusade, thank you very much. I'm not afraid to say it. So often we're told, love your neighbor like yourself, as a reason to take in refugees, as a reason to open up your backyard, as a reason for self-sacrificial love, as a reason to put your neighbor before yourself. But you'll understand, as a Christian, reading this, love your neighbor as yourself. God commands us to love ourselves as well. And right now, we have failed within the body of Christ. We absolutely have. We have not been looking after our brothers and sisters the world over. There is a genocide of Christians occurring right now in the Middle East, and no one is talking about it. 322 Christians are killed for their faith. 214 churches and Christian properties are destroyed. 722 forces of violence are committed against Christians. And I know that these are all very conservative estimates. That includes beatings, rapes, and abductions. I'm sorry, a woman in a hijab gets yelled at and we hear about it for one whole week, maybe longer. People are literally being slaughtered and no one will talk about it in the media or in our politics. 215 million Christians, that's 10% of our global population of Christians worldwide, are socially disadvantaged, harassed, actively oppressed, or even killed for their beliefs. You think about that. Think about your own congregation. 1 in 10 of you would be persecuted if you lived somewhere else in very serious ways. And of the 10 most dangerous places to be a Christian, 9 of those places are Muslim countries. The other one is North Korea, by the way. Islam and their global caliphate have never stopped fighting the war. There are 109 verses that call for Muslims to war with unbelievers in the Quran. The Bible right now is banned in 52 countries. It is illegal to own a Bible. Guess how many countries it's illegal to have a Quran? Bingo! This is a holy war for Islam. They're not just coming for our health care, right? They're coming to break the cross. What was ISIS's first move? They went to the houses of Iraq after they overthrew the army there, and they painted this sign on the houses of all the Christians. It's an Arabic letter, like N, Nun, for Nazarene. The first thing that they did is they singled out the Christians. Next slide. So big picture Christians in the Middle East. And I'll remind you that before Muhammad, there were a lot of Christians in the Middle East. It was the home of Christianity and Judaism. Christians there for nearly 2 millennia. They prospered. They had businesses. They traded freely. And by and large, there was peace among the religions and, the Gentiles alike, so to speak. Right now, in more modern day statistics, we've gone from 20% Christianity in the Middle East to 4%, and that is a generous percentage. In Lebanon, which is really seen as the highest percentage of Christianity, they've gone from 80 to 40%. That's a halving in recent years. That's crazy. Syria, which is about 10% Christian, guess how many Christians the US allowed in as part of their Syria refugee policy? 2%. That was it. 98% of them were Sunni Muslim. How long did it take us to finally admit that there was a bloody Christian genocide occurring in the Middle East right now in ISIS-controlled territories? How long did we have to debate about it? Why was it controversial? The Christian population in Iraq used to be 1.5 million. Current generous estimate is 275,000. Okay, I'm done with the stats now. Where's the media coverage? Where are our planes in the fight against ISIS to help protect these people against which there is a genocide being waged? long story short, the First Crusade was called after 460 years of Islamic aggression, violently raping, pillaging, and conquering all of Christendom. And finally, they were like, you know what, Pope? I think 2/3 of Christendom is enough. Maybe now we'll push back. When will be enough for us? Because they've got Europe. To allow the persecution of Christians is to allow the persecution of what makes our civilization good and right. The founding fathers of America, one of the greatest nations on earth, especially when you look at her rights and her legal code, they were inspired by the very Christian ideals, Judeo-Christian ideals, that I try to fight for every day in my life. Personal responsibility. Thank you. Equality of opportunity. Y'all got the opportunity for salvation. What you do with it is up to you. Same goes for America and the West.
Right.
You can become a millionaire. You got to work hard. You got the opportunities here. Freedom. God doesn't tell us believe in me or else. He gives us our own, Adam and Eve. Go ahead, do your thing.
That's right.
Personal responsibility. You screw up, you're going to have to wear it. That is what the West is all about. The individual that is based on these very core ideas, which are fundamentally tied to and espoused from the Judeo-Christian religion.
That was an excerpt from a speech that I gave during our Rebel Conference. For the entire speech and the whole program, go to therebellive.com.